What is an addiction many people don't realize they have? I feel people who gamble never really seem to realize how bad their addiction is. Whenever you try to talk sense into them, they seem completely greed-fueled, like they're willing to risk everything for that chance to be rich. It's scary as hell. I basically never gamble. But was in a casino on my 30th birthday, and decided it would be fun to gamble just a little. Said I'll just gamble till I lose $50. Well, that didn't take long, and it was fun, and I almost had the game figured out and I was getting ready to go pull more cash. Thank God my wife came by, and pulled me out of there. That's when I realized the only reason I was not addicted to gambling is because I never do it. And so I've just stopped, cold turkey. I've lived in Vegas for 22 years. I used to work for casinos. They make these huge mega resorts all on a 2% chance to win on slots. That's all they need. The odds are ever stacked against you. If you throw money in a slot machine or at some table games while waiting for a restaurant to open or something here, that's one thing, but expecting to win? Doom scrolling. Didn't have to doom scroll far for that one. Sixth time around for me. Save your commenting. Oh, so you mean scrolling through an endless abyss of existential dread while avoiding real-life responsibilities? Yeah, that's my cardio workout too. Hello, welcome to the video. We all know addictions can be tricky, but forget about the usual suspects. Let's dig deeper, my friends. Don't be shy, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below with your hidden addiction. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. Addicted to validation. Whether it comes from video games, getting likes on a post/comment, from work, etc. People stay chasing validation in most any form. Edit. The awards are very validating, thanks kind Redditors. People have always wanted to be liked, but before, we were only seeking acceptance from those in our village. Maybe a couple hundred people at maximum, but never billions of people who live on different continents and don't even know we exist. I would argue that kings and queens still seek validation from a whole country, and even sometimes from other countries. An old-time lot of kings and queens are famously insane lamau. Anger and attention. Too many people have no self-control because being petty feels good, but realistically it is a toxic way of dealing with anger. Damn, that's some dank, top-shelf life advice right there. I struggle hard with this. I seem to reflexively turn to being petty, and staying petty, but really trying to work on it. Not very good with emotion identification, regulation. Yes, I'm seeing a therapist, but why might you say that being petty feels good to some? Edited for typo. Well, I might not be an anger management expert, but I definitely have a PhD in seeking attention from my fridge at midnight. Sugar and caffeine. Yup, if you're relying on caffeine to start your morning and get through your day every day, then your body becomes dependent on it, which makes it harder to start a day without it. And sugar, PFF man, I think that's the worst, it's so addictive. I know that this is anecdotal evidence, but I feel like I'm one of few people I know that drinks coffee just cause I like doing it. There are mornings, hell sometimes multiple days in a row, that I don't drink it and am fine. In the same way, I just love the taste. I found out I had ADHD this way, because I never receive an energy boost from coffee, just extra concentration. In fact, I've been known to fall back asleep on the couch with a coffee cup in my hand. I still think I'm addicted to it though. I might not have a PhD in nutrition, but I'm pretty sure my body is 90% caffeine and the other 10% is just sugar floating around. Reddit. Opposite addictions not vitally necessary functions. Remember when everyone threw a fit over the API shit and said they were quitting? What happened to that? Well, my Reddit usage is down from 4 to 5 hours a day to 30 minutes, not because I'm even still trying to make a stance. The official website and app just aren't as conducive to addiction as Apollo was. I'm practically the CEO of browsing memes until my eyes turn square and my productivity plummets to negative levels. Coffee, phones. Anyone who has ever experienced the headaches, fatigue and nausea of the first week caffeine-free will agree. I keep falling into the caffeine loop. Every time I stop I wonder why I'm feeling off and getting cold sweats. I notice I've gone too far when caffeine stops becoming a booster and more so required for a sense of normalcy. I can relate, my daily routine consists of a coffee IV drip and playing endless rounds of Candy Crush on my phone. Social media. I have a full-time job stalking exes on Facebook and Instagram. It's a tough gig, But someone has to do it. Online shopping. It's got me deep. ETA, in my case it's an addiction in the sense of I seem to always use buy now pay it later on Klarna. I'll genuinely need to just order one thing, but then before I know it, I've made 20 orders for clothing, and then when the high of the addiction wears off, I have to waste the time returning everything and I retreat into depression, which results in me starting the cycle anew and buying more clothes. I fucking hate it and can't seem to just quit. Like I know I need to stop and want to, but it's so damn hard. I also don't have the money to sustain this, so I'm fucking myself over even more. It's always H&M that has a grip on me. Like I have enough clothes, so why do I keep buying more? Oh, impulse buying. My number one coping skill. Any points on how to stop? It's crippling me. Politics. The amount of people that watch nothing but Fox, CNN or MSNBC all day is ridiculous. If this is you, seriously, that isn't news you're watching. Surprised I had to scroll this far to see this. Cable news is designed to hook people on their own impotent rage. It's a cancer, man. Think about all the stupid, self-serving, inept and ridiculous rants these moron politicians have done the last 8 years. It's non-stop attention-seeking drivel and the populace laps it up. Truth is, if you tune them out, life goes on normally and you are much happier. Politicians are theatrical scumbags. When Russia invaded Ukraine, I was addicted to watching troop movements through traffic cams. I spent countless hours watching empty cams all the way until the bombings started and I began watching the cityscape cams. I basically didn't leave my room for weeks and lived off credit. I'm still paying for that. Oh, you mean constantly scrolling through comment sections and engaging in pointless political debates on social media? I'm pretty sure I have a black belt in keyboard warrior-ing. Weed. It's me. I love it. But it's still an addiction. I'm glad you can admit this. Many Redditors and weed enjoyers are unable to accept the fact that a full-blown marijuana addiction is not healthy or beneficial. My husband rolls his eyes a little when I say I'm in recovery, almost 6 months clean, but it's my unfortunate reality. I tell him I'm glad he can just do it occasionally and not have a problem, but I definitely had a problem and can't think of a good enough reason to start again. I love weed, I loved being a functional pothead, but I hit a point where I wanted to be more than just functional. Fast food. I don't think only fast food, I would say any type of food. It has become more and more frequent, being on the rise in kids too. Overeating is very easy, and with mukbangs, it is sort of normalized. Convenience food. If it's pre-prepared and hyper-palatable, this is what they're talking about. Nobody is addicted to kale. It's because people, especially Americans, live in food deserts. There are no small diners and restaurants near your house. Only a strip mall filled with fast food restaurants. You know, they say the key to a healthy relationship is communication, which is why I have such a deep bond with my delivery driver. Trading stocks/penny stocks/short/long with the typical gambling mentality, this trade will make up for the other losses so far, or my system works. I lost a lot of money with neo brokers. Anyone who is doing that kind of stuff with other people's money is going to be a sham. Also, it is gambling. We can rebrand it as whatever. Investing, trading, wealth building, but in the end it is totally possible to take massive losses and still lose it all or close to it. I suppose it's better than casinos, but hell, in casinos if you throw $20,000 at them they at least give you some perks. Actual investing over long periods with diversifications is statistically proven to be working. The problem with neo brokers is that you don't invest over long periods because you keep looking at your account on your phone. It gets emotional too quickly. If you got a spare 10K and don't need it within the next 5 to 10 years, then invest it. If you can't spare the 10K and you want to buy a stock cause you think it'll rise, it's pretty much gambling. Sugar. Eating and drinking way too many sweet things. Anyone who thinks sugar is not addictive should try to not eat any in a day. I've been reducing my sugar intake recently and find I will sometimes just sit at my desk thinking about how badly I want candy or a soda because my body is just dependent on the sugar. I think in 25 years people will talk about sugar the way we talk about cigarettes. Like it was obviously bad, we just kept doing it anyways. I'm basically an Olympic gold medalist in staring at the pantry, hoping a magical snack will appear.